In my 20 years as a police officer, no experience could rival the sheer terror encapsulated within the night I'm about to recount. It was an autumn evening, the air carrying a bit of a chill as I was dispatched to investigate a disturbance at an old, dilapidated farm on the outskirts of town. The place had always unsettled me, with its weathered barn and overgrown fields that seemed to swallow memories whole. As I approached, an inexplicable sense of unease settled over me, a feeling that this night would be unlike any other. The farmstead lay shrouded in darkness, the moonlight struggling to pierce the thick canopy of trees that surrounded the property. A feeble light from my flashlight danced along the cracked windows and peeling paint of the farmhouse. Ignoring the sinking feeling in my gut, I pressed on, duty propelling me forward. The front door groaned open with resistance, revealing an interior that seemed frozen in time. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the silence was oppressive, broken only by the creak of the floorboards beneath my boots. I made my way through the desolate rooms, my steps cautious, every noise echoing like a drumbeat in the stillness. As I entered what appeared to be the living room, a strange sound reached my ears, a soft, eerie tune. My heart quickened as I followed the sound, my flashlight revealing dust motes dancing in the air. As the beam of my flashlight ascended from the floor, I saw her, a woman standing in front of an old, decrepit piano. Her hair cascaded in white waves, concealing much of her face in shadow, lending an air of mystery to her form. Despite the obscurity, her eyes shone with an unnatural luminescence, seeming to hold secrets as old as time itself. The fabric of her dress clung to her figure, billowing gently, as if moved by a breeze that only she could feel. The gown, once elegant and undoubtedly belonging to a bygone era, now bore the signs of age and decay, its once vibrant colors faded by the passage of time. The woman's hands moved gracefully over the piano keys, her fingers long and delicate, each movement producing discordant notes that seemed to resonate with the very soul of the forsaken farmhouse. As our gazes met, her eyes held a depth that hinted at the existence of worlds beyond our comprehension. They glowed like twin orbs of trapped starlight, a luminescence that seemed to transcend the limits of the physical world. Her gaze bore into mine, a connection that spanned the gap between the living and the supernatural, unsettling my very soul. I called out to her, my voice cracking with unease, demanding to know who she was. She remained silent, her fingers continuing their dance over the keys, producing a haunting tune that resonated through the room. Summoning my resolve, I inched closer, but the light from my flashlight seemed to scatter, distorting her form like a mirage in the desert. A knot of dread tightened in my chest as I watched, helpless, unable to comprehend what I was witnessing. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew through the room, startling me and causing me to drop my flashlight. As it hit the ground, it cracked, its light extinguishing. Panic surged through me, and I fumbled for my radio. My calls for backup met with nothing but static. The darkness seemed to close in, suffocating me with its weight. Then, the voices began. Faint whispers, like faint echoes in the wind, surrounded me. They seemed to come from every direction, an unrelenting symphony of sound that burrowed into my mind. I felt a presence pressing against me, a malevolent force that threatened to consume me. As the voices grew louder, the woman solidified before me. Her hair floated around her, her eyes now glowing with a fiery light. Her voice, a chilling mix of sorrow and anger, washed over me.
"You shouldn't have come here,"
she intoned, her words sending me into a panic. An adrenaline surge finally broke my paralysis, and I stumbled backwards, desperately navigating through the maze-like corridors of the farmhouse. The walls seemed to shift, distorting reality in a nightmarish dance. Bursting out into the open air, I sprinted towards my patrol car, my heart pounding out of my chest. Behind me, the farmhouse seemed to tremble, its very foundation shaking with an otherworldly force. The night air carried a scream, a sound that seemed to pierce the veil between the living and the unknown. I fled, vowing to never return. As a police officer with 2 decades of experience, I had confronted countless challenges and witnessed unspeakable horrors, but nothing could have prepared me for the terror that dwelled within the confines of that old, abandoned farm. Thanks for tuning into another episode from the Alley of Nightmares. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Until next time.